And welcome back to What Matters This Week. I'm Lauren Maloney. Joining us this Sunday is Anna McMahon, the Donor and Community Engagement Manager for Feeding Chittenden. Anna, appreciate you joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I know your work is so important right now, and there are so many things to talk about since the last time we spoke when it comes to what Feeding Chittenden is doing in the wake of this crisis. So let's start with a new pilot program. I guess we can call it an order ahead system. Great idea, of course, to branch out and help others as there's less and less human contact right now. So tell us how this started.
Well, really, this was in response to the pandemic and a growing need for emergency food. So we wanted to offer a new and innovative way to access our services. And this, by creating this online system, it will enable anyone in our community to order groceries in a safe, efficient, and stigma-free manner.
And I know you started this pilot program with Champlain Valley Head Start.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I mean, they were sort of our guinea pigs in a way, but we're partnering with our fellow CBOEO program to implement this order ahead system. And the idea behind it is that folks eventually, once it's up and running, will be able to go and select the foods that best meet their dietary needs. And then they can do that at their convenience and either pick it up or have it delivered right to their door. But with order ahead right now and Head Start, we started out smaller with 6 local Head Start classrooms. So that equates to around 65 households or families, and around 400 individuals. About half of them are children. So we have about 84 individual items listed on a shopping list, and families are able to select the items that best meet their needs, and then we will package that up and deliver it to those Head Start sites.
And I know you said a big part of this is making sure that some of the selections are culturally relevant. Mm-hmm. Is that something that came from what you heard basically from your recipients about what they needed right now?
Exactly, yeah. The idea for this order ahead system really took off once we started having culturally relevant working groups. So we're talking to different agencies and organizations and partners, including members of the BIPOC community. And we just wanted to be more proactive in taking a human-centered approach to food systems. So as a result of this, we're going to be purchasing culturally relevant foods from Asian and African markets and exploring different ways that we can enhance our programs. So some of these foods that we're looking at buying include goat meat and different kinds of fruits and veggies, cooking supplies like flour and oil, as well as those shelf-stable items like beans and rice.
And those would have to be purchased, and that's where I imagine donations would help.
Yep. Yeah, with the pandemic, it's changed the way that people are giving and has put the spotlight on food insecurity in a way that has never been there before. And we've been incredibly thankful for this community support. We know people miss that interaction, whether they're going on site to bring a turkey or making an online donation. All of those are incredibly helpful, but right now, because of the pandemic, we're really strongly encouraging people to go to feedingchittenden.org, and there are plenty of ways that they can give through the website.
There have been so many different kind of food shortages throughout the course of this year. Just the other day, we heard ketchup is being added to that list. How does that affect you day to day?
We have, again, we're really trying to purchase from local farms and local groups. We've been incredibly thankful to have partnerships with places like the Vermont Food Bank. And there are going to be times where we might not have the variety of foods that we want for our recipients, but because we're taking this more proactive approach with culturally relevant foods, I think we're being more meaningful in the way that we purchase foods and that we solicit those donations from the community.
We reported just last week how the Burlington Catholic Diocese has also helped. How are those partnerships really affecting you right now?
I think with the onset of the pandemic, obviously it's been an incredibly difficult year for everyone, but one of the wonderful things that has come from all of this hardship are the renewed partnerships within the community. So we're working closely with other social service agencies like Head Start, like the Vermont Food Bank, and like Hunger Free, as well as kind of grassroots efforts to make sure that people are being fed, that that need is not going unmet. And it's pretty remarkable, and I really hope that after COVID is over, whenever that is, we can continue to kind of maintain that relationship, because you can really see how coming together, albeit in a different way than usual, has helped our most vulnerable community members.
I wonder if you've seen a shift in the need right now when people are reaching out to Feeding Chittenden, and what they're coming for. Is it still essentials, or has it changed over the course of the year?
Well, in our quest to be more innovative and really receptive to what community members want, we've expanded beyond just food items. So we have shampoo and soap, as well as diapers and baby wipes, feminine hygiene products. Those are all things that people wouldn't necessarily think of when they think of a food access center, but those items are. Yes, exactly. Yes. Again, at the start of the pandemic, there was a huge, need for disinfecting wipes and cleaning supplies, and Seventh Generation donated that. So again, I think whenever we have a shortage of supplies or there's a huge need, if we make a call to the community, people usually respond.
How have your needs changed as far as what you need from the public? Has that also transcended a bit? Well,
we had to change the way that we interacted with the public. That was especially seen during the giving season, when we had to shift the way that people wanted to donate food. We had to really emphasize safe donations, and the easiest and safest way to do that is through our website. So the need for monetary donations has not changed, and will continue to be a challenge for us, especially as we expand and grow to become more of a food access center. Eventually we do, I think as we go back to a more normal way of living and people can interact more and feel safe to do so, we anticipate more food drives with these culturally relevant foods, asking for specific items from community members, like cooking oil or specific kinds of flour or meat. And again, I think with the kind of community that we have here in Vermont, people respond, so well to that. They want to help.
The governor released his Vermont Forward plan just a few days ago, as far as slowly, hopefully getting back to normal. Have you begun to think about how that may affect you?
Yeah, we are having daily conversations about what the future looks like for Feeding Chittenden. And again, the thing that we're keeping an eye on is what's safest for our recipients, for staff, for volunteers. Right now we're only allowing a very small number of people in the building. And we have conversations about when will we become a congregate meal site again? When will we allow more people in the building? And I think for the time being that's something that we are hopeful about, but also still very cautious. I do think the Order Ahead program is really relevant right now, because it's going to help us increase that access even more. Most of the Head Start families that we've served through this pilot program had never used our services before. So there are so many people who are food insecure in Chittenden County who have never come to us, and through Order Ahead and increased deliveries, they'll be able to get the food that they need.
You and I, before we started this interview, talked about the Good Food Truck. I imagine that would be safe to kind of put out there this spring and summer as well, to hopefully reach more people.
Absolutely, yeah. Our Good Food Truck is incredibly innovative and forward-thinking, and is exactly what we mean when we say we want to meet people where they're at. We literally want to drive to people's neighborhoods and deliver a free, locally sourced meal to vulnerable Vermonters. And the best thing about it is that people are excited, and it creates that sense of community that I think we're all really lacking right now. So we're excited, again, once it's safe to do so and we can have big crowds, we want to invite everyone out to the Good Food Truck. But we definitely see that program expanding and going throughout Chittenden County.
Anna, before we go, if people want to help, how can they do so right now?
Going to our website, feedingchittenden.org, is the best way to keep updated on where we're at and where we're going. If people want to get involved, again, the safest and easiest way is to make a monetary donation. We're also still encouraging food drives. If people want to do that, we will gladly accept those donations.
Okay. Anna McMahon, good luck, and thanks for joining us.
Thank you so much. Have a great week.